In today's digital world, our busy world, our hectic world, it's more important than ever to be intentional about your productivity. Because if you aren't intentional with your productivity, things will come at you, opportunities will be thrown at you, challenges will confront you, and you will just be simply overwhelmed without a strategy. So that's why today I want to give you 3 ways that will help you to up your productivity in your life. So let's get right to it. I'm currently building a business and brand while working a full-time job, while being married to an incredible woman, and having a family and friends that I want to continue building relationships with. So as you can tell, productivity is a must for me if I want to continue making progress in those many different areas of my life. And through this process, through finding out what works, what doesn't work, I have found a system that works really well for me to help me stay productive and get things done that are important to me. And I want to share with you 3 different tips that will help you to be more productive in your own life. Jim Rohn once said, "Live each day before it happens. Live each week before it happens, and even live each year before it happens." And this is the first way that will help you to be more productive in your life. Literally know exactly how your week is going to unfold. And if you want to get really crazy here, then you can literally plan out and know exactly how your month is going to unfold, how this next year will unfold. And really, the farther you get away from a year, the more theoretical it is, because we just don't know what can happen. We don't know what can happen tomorrow, but we definitely don't really know what can happen after a year. But you can have a really good plan in place. And this is the first strategy that I have for you. Every single Sunday, and you can choose whatever day of the week that you want, just be sure to stick to it. Every single Sunday, I take my journal and I write down exactly what is going to be accomplished this coming week. And when I plan my week out in my journal, I specifically write down, how is my week going to go for me professionally with my business? How is this week going to go for me with the full-time job that I work? What am I going to accomplish this week when it comes to my marriage? What am I going to accomplish when it comes to making sure that I spend enough time with my friends and my family? Because if you don't plan out your weeks, then life will get the best of you. Life will throw things into the mix. You will be sidetracked. You will be distracted. And then the next week, you'll say to yourself, what did I even accomplish this last week? And the answer will be, well, you didn't accomplish nearly as much as you wanted, but most importantly, you didn't accomplish what was most important to you. So if you want to get something done, you have to plan your week ahead of time. And all I do, it's actually really simple. In my journal, I write down next steps. And I have a list, like a laundry list, of the different things that I want to get done. And I'll even pinpoint exactly what days I want to do those things, which we'll talk about here in a minute or so. But I'll have a laundry list of things that I want to accomplish. And once I have that list of things that I know I want to get done to help me to stay more productive, it leads me to the second strategy that I have for you, which is to use your calendar for absolutely everything. And you might be thinking, use it for everything? Like use it for dinner, use it for like a date night with my spouse or my significant other, use it for going out for a drink with some friends? Like, yes, the answer is absolutely yes. I learned this from an older boss of mine who literally used their calendar for everything. And at first I thought he was crazy. At first I thought he was too structured. But after having a busy life of my own, which I know you also have because you're watching this video right now to become more productive, after seeing all the things that he did and now being in a similar situation, I've learned that I must put everything in my calendar. So I take that laundry list that I talked about in strategy number 1, and then I take my phone calendar. You can do this right from your smartphone, or you can do it from your computer or your laptop, whatever you're more comfortable doing. And I take that laundry list and I put them in different spots in my calendar so that I'll look at the calendar the day before for Tuesday, as an example. I'll usually look at it on Monday night, and I'll know exactly what I have to get done. I'll look at it and I'll say, okay, so I have an episode of my broadcast that I'm going to do. I've got some episodes for my YouTube channel that I'm going to film. And by the way, if you're new to this YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button right here and hit the bell, because we upload new videos every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to help you to perform at your peak, but more so just to help you to live a better life. And now we just happen to be talking about productivity. So every day before the next day begins, I know exactly what I'm doing that next day. I know if I'm going out for a date night. I know if I'm spending time with my friends. But the more you use your calendar, after each week, you'll look back and you'll say to yourself, look at all of these things that I've accomplished. Because if we don't schedule what is most important to us, it won't happen. So now I always say to myself, if it's not in my calendar, it doesn't exist. And I'd recommend start small with this. Start putting in your most important key tasks. And after you notice and you realize, wow, this is really helping me in my life, then start to put date nights in there. Then start to put appointments with friends or hanging out with friends or whatever it is you might be doing. Even put in your daily shift if you have a full-time job or part-time or whatever it might be. Put in your shift so you know not to schedule things during those times. But once you start doing this, I'm excited for you to see how much more productive this makes you in your life. And the third strategy that I have for you to help you to become more productive and to up your overall productivity is to be sure to remember to schedule time away for you. Life will get the best of us if we don't decide at what times we will dedicate for our own personal growth. Believe me, I've gone through months and months where I didn't dedicate any time for me to read a book, for me to really sit and think about how I wanted my life to unfold. So often we can get caught up in the rat race, going to work, getting home from work, eating dinner, and then watching TV, and then doing it all over again. And then when we have a day off from work, we spend it doing things that are just to recharge, things that don't move us in any specific direction. And my challenge to you is to carve out some time every single day for your personal growth. And because once the day begins, it becomes very difficult to introduce some kind of routine for your own growth. Because technically what happens is we'll be in the heat of our day and we'll say to ourselves, I'll just work on myself tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and we say the same thing, and then the next day comes and the next day comes, but we haven't done anything to improve ourselves. We're making progress maybe for our company, but we're not making progress in our own personal life. So what I personally do is I carve out an hour every single morning. I got this phrase from Tony Robbins where he calls it his hour of power. It's an hour that I put in my calendar, like I just mentioned, and I sit and I write down my goals and I drink my coffee and I think of things that I'm absolutely grateful for in my life, and I make sure to read some of a nonfiction book. I'll generally read for 20 or 30 minutes. I'll write my goals down for 10 minutes. And the remainder of that is me thinking about how I want my life to unfold. This is such a magical experience. And if you haven't done it before, you might be thinking, is this really worth my time? Do I really want to sacrifice an hour every single morning to work on myself? Is that going to get a real return? And my answer to you is you gotta try it. You just have to, because what I think you're going to notice is this hour each day, each morning, or whenever you decide to do it, I just recommend the morning. This hour will be the best hour that you spend every single day because you are giving attention to the most important person in your world, which is you. If you aren't growing, then how can you help your relationship grow? If you aren't growing, then how can you help your company grow? If you aren't growing, then how can you improve in your business? If you aren't growing, then you're going to be at a standstill. Productivity doesn't matter if you aren't becoming better in the process. So plan each week and day and month before it happens. Throw it in your calendar and be sure to schedule some time away for yourself. Now, what I want to give you when you click the first link below is a copy of my free book, which is called Be Extraordinary, Your Guide to Self-Mastery. Enter your name and email. I'll send you the digital copy. You don't even have to wait for it. It's instant. And this will give you strategies that you can use after your hour of power each day to live an extraordinary life in the 5 key areas of life. So click the link below, enter your name and your email. I'll send you the digital copy, and I hope that it serves you well. And until we talk again next time, continue to be better.